Hi, the 9 days, day 2. Today I am working on genuine listening, conscious listening, truly listening to what the other person is saying. You see, listening is an active, non-competitive, two-way interaction. Listening is not the act of hearing words spoken. Listening is the art of understanding the meaning behind those words. So the art of listening means creating an environment where the other person feels heard and understood. Why do we sometimes not listen consciously and we become passive listeners, or we're too distracted when people are speaking, or what's the reason we aren't actively listening sometimes? And I think there could be a few things. First of all, we might be a little too analytical, judging the speaker or the content. Sometimes we're listening from an emotional place and we get too worked up. Sometimes we are distracted. We're on our phones, we're thinking of something else, we're planning the next part of our day. Sometimes we're thinking of a response to the person, we're formulating a solution. Sometimes it's our insecurities. We're busy worrying about what the other person is thinking of us as they're speaking. Are my facial expressions right? Did I give the correct response? Does the person like me? Do they trust me? Why are they sharing this with me? There must be some ulterior motive. And we feel so insecure that we're not able to actually listen to what the other person is telling us. So when another person is speaking to us, let's try to listen without an agenda, without formulating a response. We have to listen to understand, not listen to respond. Listening is the way to build trust with another person. Listening is the way to find common ground in opposition. We can avert so much conflict by truly listening. Let's try to replace judgment with curiosity and start asking open-ended questions so that we show more interest in what the person is saying, and it allows them to share things with us that can create deeper connection, and it allows them to clarify their own understanding of what they're saying as well. And don't worry, you'll get to share your perspective, but it will be much better received if you listen first without thinking about what your response is going to be. Another habit we sometimes have when it comes to listening is that we become conversational narcissists, which means that we invert the conversation. We take the focus away from the speaker and we turn it to ourselves. If they're sharing something with you, something that they're experiencing, something that they're going through now, or something that they're thinking about, we automatically jump into, oh yeah, I totally know what you mean. Listen to what happened to me. And we steer the conversation away from them and onto ourselves. Now here's the thing. I'm sure that what you have to share is very interesting and very valuable. But if you steer the conversation away from them and onto yourself, the person feels dismissed and overshadowed. You know, when Hashem granted Shlomo HaMelech one wish and he asked for wisdom, the wording that was used is fascinating. He asked for a lev shomea. A lev shomea, we usually translate that as a discerning mind or a discerning heart, and we understand that to mean wisdom. But think about what those words actually mean. A lev shomea means a listening heart, because he knew that that was the key to wisdom. When we can stop and truly listen to what another person is telling us, that is true wisdom. That's how we create connections with people. That's how we show people that we love them. That's how we show people that they're important to us. And that's how we can truly understand another person. If you take your two ears, the way that the ears are shaped, you take your two ears and you put them together, you know what you get? A heart. Listening can be a chain reaction, because what happens is when you feel heard, you are inspired to listen to the next person. And then when that person feels heard, they're inspired to listen to the next person. What happens when a person doesn't feel heard? People yell when they don't feel heard. People interrupt when they don't feel heard. People become conversational narcissists when they don't feel heard. But when you feel heard, you can then be an even better listener to other people. So let's start this chain reaction today. When someone comes to talk to you, give them your full attention and listen to the human being behind the words. Because one of the greatest gifts that we can give anyone is the gift of being heard. So today we're going to practice full body listening. We're going to listen with our ears. We're going to listen with our eyes. We're going to pay attention to the verbal and the nonverbal communication. And we're going to listen with our hearts. We're going to have a lev shomea.